welcome back to day 12 of the spring countdown box. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a cute little bunny stamp. All right, I'm gonna pull a couple of things together and we will get to making. Okay, I cut down a piece of that lima bean cardstock that we used yesterday. And this is the packaging that our stamp came in for today. I'm just gonna trim down each edge. I'm gonna cut it down to 4 1/4. Just cutting each edge to make sure it's nice and straight. All right, oops, didn't quite cut all that all the way through. There we go. And then I chose an oval die for my sash. This was released last year, this oval die. I believe it was an inspiration box. It's no longer available, but you could use any shape you want. I just wanted to use that. Cut out a piece of perfect blend paper. I'm gonna stamp my little bunny behind, and then we're gonna use the same die to cut our window. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this up on my cutting plate. Just like that. And run that through my die cut machine. Hopefully I did not move that. Create a little window. It's not gonna be a quick and easy one. So we've got our little window, we got our little piece here. Go ahead and put that down like that. And then, oops, we cut our circle. I cut my circle down slightly, so I may have to recut this. But I think it'll work. It's just gonna be a slight little circle underneath like this that has our bunny once I get it lined up. And then I'm gonna stamp my bunny in right here. And then I will find a sentiment. So let's get this guy stamped out. This is some perfect blend paper. That's my favorite paper to stamp and color on. Not that there's a lot of coloring. We could make this bunny like a brown bunny or a gray bunny. So we can add a little color to our... Not exactly sure what I have for sentiments. So I am stepping him down more towards the bottom. Gonna stamp him with some Raven ink. I will link anything that is available down below, and those will be affiliate links, which just means if you place an order using one of my links, I appreciate it as it helps me bring you content by giving me a little bit of a commission from any of the sales. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Olo markers, and we are gonna color him gray just because I don't feel like, maybe we'll color him brown. Let's color him brown. I don't do browns a lot. We're gonna use Olo markers. And I think I'm gonna grab this little combo right here. OR 3.8, 3.7, and 3.4. So I'm gonna start with my 3.4. My lightest color. I'm going to color the entire thing in this. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up with just a little bit. It's not too much coloring, so maybe I didn't speed it up yet. I apologize. I decided maybe I don't need to. It's not a ton of coloring here. So I hope you have enjoyed the spring countdown box videos as much as I have done creating them. Now I'm going to go to my darkest color, and we're going to color right underneath his neck, and then just a little bit on the sides and around his tail. And then I'm going to just bring it in a little bit on the sides. Just because that helps it look rounded. Then we will go to our 3.7. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit. And then we'll bring it in a little bit. And that just helps it kind of blend out. Like I said, you could use colored pencils, you could use Copics, you could use whatever markers you have, colored crayons, you know, watercolors. He'd been a very easy bunny to watercolor. And then I'm going to go right back to that lightest color, my 3.4, and blend it out just a little bit more. And then I'm just going to kind of go over the whole thing here. Just trying to get those edges, kind of go around the edges of it. And that will just kind of blend that out. And I'm going to let the markers do their thing. Now, instead of a gray, I'm going to use this BG 7.0. That's my favorite for kind of making things look a little dirty, I could say. Not, you know, pure white. I know it's more of a bluey color, but I think it works for me. I might grab this 0.7, 0.1, and just put a little colors in it just to give them a little floof. Okay, so there we go. Let's start putting our card together. A lot of times I use double-sided adhesive for these. My last few cards, I have not done that. I have just done plain old tape runner. I'm just going to do that again. I would not use liquid glue because of the thinness. You could totally put this on some white paper if you wanted, especially if you're touching it like that. I'm not going to worry about, oh, I just tore it. Well, that's going to use a design opportunity. We'll fix that. Okay, we're just going to use that as an opportunity to, what happens if you tear it? So we're going to center this as best we can on the paper. It's not going to be perfect. We'll just trim it. We will trim it down. If you get a little bubbles here and there, you can use a bone folder to kind of smooth those out. And like I said, that little tear there, we'll fix that. We'll do something with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim it because it's not perfect. You could have left that paper a little bit bigger, and that would have helped it, you know, trim off any extras. So we're just a hair short of an A2 card base on the sides. We can make that work because we can cut it down a little bit more. I don't even know if I got that 100% straight. It looks a little wonky. So let's go ahead and I'm going to trim down a little bit more on each side till I get to 4 inches. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth between both sides. And that will bring us down to the 4-inch mark. And then I'm going to go ahead and I did not get that straight. I did not cut this straight or lay this out straight. I can tell by looking at it. So we're going to modify this is how I'm going to modify it. We're going to go ahead and just trim it off at the top and the bottom. I did not cut that straight. I'm going to just go ahead and recut it. I'm going to cut just a little bit more off the bottom so that this square. So instead of putting this on white paper, I've got this on the green paper. And you could totally still, and we're just going to cut another green card panel down. I might have one already. No, I don't. Yes, I do. So we're just going to have another, and then I will just put that straight back on the center of this. But we do need to cut this down to 4 because I want it to be, yeah. Okay. So, you know, we've got that little bit of a limp there, but we fixed it. Okay. We still got our tear to figure out, but let's get this glued down first. Like I said, you could have put that tissue paper on some cardstock first and then put it down on your green card panel. That would have probably helped it. I mean, you could totally now put this up towards the top and put something down below. I'm going to still center it. So look for things like that just to be design opportunities. Now we still got our little bunny here. We're going to put right smack dab in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue. Put this guy down like this. eyeball it. There's a little bit of green space around the edges, which is fine. I'm just going to wiggle it around until it looks good. I'm going to grab my zero marker here and just tap a couple spots where it bled over a little bit. It's not horrible. I didn't want to touch it a lot. And then I think what we're going to do to fix this and mask this a little bit is I'm going to go ahead and grab my embossing ink. I think I put it away. Yes, I did. And we're going to use one of my favorite techniques or favorite things. We're going to go ahead and just squish this the whole panel. The whole panel. The entire panel. Now, yeah, my bunny, it looks like he bled just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then we're going to grab some fairy dust embossing powder, which is so sparkly and beautiful. And it creates a fun card. So shimmery. And it's going to help camouflage that little cut that we had. I missed a little spot right there at the back, but we can fix that after. All right, let's cover this up and heat this up. And you can still kind of see that tear, but that's maybe where we can put our sentiment. Now I will say that white is translucent behind there, so you can actually see my glue. So that's kind of a thing that I just want you to be aware of. That is a possibility. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more embossing powder right to here. And then just kind of making sure everything's set. Not sure if that got... All right. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up and grab a sentiment, and I will be right back. I stamped out a sentiment. Somebody loves you, and I fussy cut it out. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the best fussy cutter in the world, but I make it work. I just don't think too much about it and just kind of go for it. Use my scissors, and I keep my paper turning versus my scissor turning. Get my glue. My pin has got glue on it, so it needs to be cleaned off, it looks like. And that's how we can camouflage our little sentiment area here. Somebody loves you. And we can just put in 1, 2, we'll put 3 little gems here. Just got some yellow topaz-y gems here. Just for some extra little bling. There you go. There is your day 12 card. Like I said, it didn't end up exactly where I thought it was going to go to start, but then I just, like I said, I need to put it just on a card base here, and you've got your card. I do think I want to trim down the top and bottom just a hair. Just a hair, so that I think we did that the original piece, and then I didn't do it when I put it in. I'll trim off the top. Actually, we're going to trim a little bit more off the top so that it looks like it's a little bit more even. The green border is a little more even. Oh! And then we'll just put it down on our card base. And there we go. Thank you. I will see you again for tomorrow, not tomorrow, but later this week for day 13.